Hi everyone, I'm just making a quick video on organizing your files to keep your desktop nice and clean. One of the things that you might have noticed is that I have a pretty clean desktop. There's not much on here because having, clutter everywhere really, really ups my anxiety. So what I like to do is I like to organize everything into files. And I also use the sidebar here in the Finder to kind of get at the folders that I use most often. And you can drag and drop in and out of that sidebar. So I wanted to just show you quickly how to do that. Now, it's not that I don't have things on my desktop. I do. So what I have done is I have actually made a folder called desktop, and sometimes, things that I don't really have a good place to put it in, I will throw it in that folder, but it's nice and neat in the folder as opposed to the icons being all over my desktop. Now, another thing that I have that if you haven't already, I would really, really consider getting is I have an external hard drive. It's actually a Western Digital external hard drive. It's a My Passport for Mac one. And I want to say that this thing is probably 4 TB. Yeah, 4 TB in size. So that is huge. That's a huge desktop, or a huge hard drive. And I keep almost everything at this point on there. I also use Dropbox, and the reason why I have Dropbox is so that way I can access my files when I'm outside of the house. So, sometimes I take mostly Thursdays and Fridays off from the course, and sometimes I'm not home, but I need to access something. If somebody needs something for the course, I need to access it either on my iPad or on my phone if I'm not home or I don't have my computer with me. So I can get into my Dropbox account from my phone. So that's the reason why I keep all of my school files on there. With that being said, I then keep the Dropbox on my hard drive. You can kind of see it here. It's located on my hard drive because even if you have Dropbox, it still puts some of those files on your hard drive and they can take up a lot of space. And our laptops just don't have a lot of space. And our files are really big in graphic design. So even if you don't want to pay for Dropbox, it's definitely worth your while to get an external hard drive. As I said, that My Passport one that I have, there is a 1 TB, which is huge, for $60 at Best Buy. That's really, really worth it, because your hard drive is going to fill up with your files. There's kind of no way around that. That's just how it happens. Our files are really big. But I wanted to show you how I set everything up and how you can set everything up on your Mac. Now, your view might default to this left icon over here, which shows everything as icons. If you like looking that way, looking for things that way, that's fine. For me, I feel like you have to do a whole lot of scrolling like this, or it might default to do something like this where you're like, and it's over in another panel. I like to look at everything in list view. And to me, that's the easiest way to see everything. So here is my folder for Independence University. And I make a folder for each and every single mod. And then I make a folder for the year and I put the mods into there, and you can kind of see where I'm going with this. So we're in mod 5 and I'm teaching DES 109. So I've made a folder for mod 5 for DES 109, and I've made a folder inside of it for DES 109 and for all of the weeks. So I'm going to just go to my desktop and show you how I have that set up, just so you can see. So it's pretty easy. Once you're in the Finder window, which you can make a new Finder window by just going up to File, New Finder Window, or hitting Command N. And then inside there, you can choose to make a new folder by hitting Command Shift N for the quick key, or just go to File, New Folder. And it's going to come up untitled. If you accidentally click off of it, you can just double click or click and hit enter in the name, and that'll allow you to rename it. So I'm going to rename this DES 109. I'm just going to kind of recreate what I'm already making, what I've already made. So I have my folder DES 109, and you can see this is where list view I think is the easiest way. I'm going to double click to open it. And again, I'm going to do File, New Folder. I'm going to name this one Week 1. Make another one. And name it Week 2. Week 3. And Week 4. Then what I like to do inside of those folders is I like to make a folder for my assignment, a folder for my assessment, and a folder for my discussion. And this is what I do for the classes that I am in, because like I told you guys, I'm in the MBA program. So you can see here's my course that I'm in this mod, and Week 1. And here's my assignment, my assessment, my assignment, and my discussion folders. So I'm going to do the same thing. So assessment, assignment, discussion. And the reason why I make a folder for my discussion is because I always write my discussion in Microsoft Word. There's a couple of different reasons for that. Number one, I can save it as I'm writing, so that way if something happens with the internet and Canvas kind of closes out on you, or your browser accidentally closes out on you, you still have it. Number two, Word is going to catch any grammatical and spelling errors for you and underline them, so you can fix them before you submit it. And number three, when you make your citations, it's a little bit easier, I think, to copy and paste them into Word and just to have everything formatted correctly. So that's my reasoning behind that. So once I've done this for all of my folders, now to get back, you can hold the Command key down, click on the name, and it kind of opens up, you know, the back button to go back one and get to your desktop. And if you wanted to add it to the sidebar, so that way you have easy access to it, you just drag it in between two names that are already there. See how it gives that line with the circle at the left-hand side? And just drop it in there. And if you don't want it in there anymore, just pull it until you see the X. See how there's a little X? And let go, and it takes it out. So each mod, you can put your new folders that you want to follow in, and then when the mod is over, drag them out. And it's going to keep things a lot neater. So, you know, for example, here's my MBA classes. I have Mod 1, Mod 2, Mod 3, Mod 4, Mod 5, and then Mod 13 was half in 2018, half in 2019. So that's why I still have it in my folder here. But then I also had made a folder for my 2018 mods. So if I need to go back, I can see, you know, starting at Mod 5 when I started the program, and anything I'm working on for my thesis, my APA template, my schedule report, and some surveys that I've been posting for people to take. And then you'll notice I have things tagged a certain way as well. So this is one of the things I also like about the Mac is up in this little gear here, you can color tag your folders. So anything that I have tagged with the purple means that it has my business plan in it. So if I'm looking for the newest version of my business plan, or even an older version of my business plan, I know which mod my business plan was in. And I tag something green for the mod that we're currently in. So just, when I'm looking really quick, I can see the green dot and know, oh, that's this mod. It just makes it a little bit easier to see kind of what's going on. And then you'll notice I haven't named _MBA. And the reason why is in my sidebar, if everything was just named mod 5, it would kind of get confusing for me. So I know that this is my class I'm in. I know that these are my folders for being an FPA. And I know that this is my folder for the course that I'm teaching. So again, that's just how I set things up. But I think it's a lot easier than trying to find all of your files on your desktop. And if you don't need something, delete it. You can hit Command Delete and it puts it in your trash, but also remember to empty your trash. You can empty your trash by going to, I always do a quickie, by going to Finder, empty trash. And again, that will get rid of, just some of the stuff that you have on your computer. So again, check and see how much space you are using on your machine. You can figure that out by going to About This Mac, go to Storage, and where it shows your hard drive, it'll calculate it. It shows your used space versus your available space. So again, our programs take up a lot of space. You can see I do not have a lot of things on my computer, on my actual computer. It's mostly my apps, my photos, and a couple of other things, and some system files. That's what takes up the most space right there. My photos are from my phone. There's not really too much I can do about that. They're on the iCloud, but the iCloud is still on your desktop, on your hard drive. So just keep that in mind. Getting an external hard drive, you can see how much I had put on there. I have 78 gigabytes of photos, 50 gigabytes of movies, I guess, and 80 gigabytes of other, which is all of my graphic design files for as long as I have been doing this. So I still have not used 1 full terabyte, which is the size of that $60 hard drive that I just showed you. So if you do need, to get another hard drive, I really do recommend that My Passport drive that I showed you. So I hope that this was helpful. I will be posting this in the announcements, and probably going to post it in a couple of courses that I teach going forward. So you might see this a couple of times. All right.